Hi, this is Eric Turner with EA Elektro-Automatik. This video is going to cover three modes of operations that are common of our programmable DC power supplies. The first mode is constant voltage, constant current, and constant power. So what we have set up here is our PSI 9080 120 programmable DC supply and our ELR 9080 170 regenerative DC load. So the first mode of operation that we're showing here is constant voltage. So in constant voltage mode, the power supply's job is to maintain a constant voltage on the output independent of the current. So if your load has fluctuating current levels, that the power supply is going to sit there and maintain its 80 volts that you've programmed into there. So you can see as we fluctuate on the voltage or the current, the voltage actually stays the same. So in this mode of operation, you'll see the power's alternating, as a function of the current, yet the voltage is maintaining exactly at 80 volts. This is probably the most common mode of operation for power supplies, but let's go ahead and take a look at constant current next. So the second mode of operation that we're going to show is constant current. In constant current, the job of the power supply is to maintain a certain programmable current limit, and as a result, the voltage will then fluctuate according to the impedance of the load. So what you can see here, I've set the power supply up to 80 volts. I've also set it up to a maximum current limit of 20 amps. So then as I reach that 20 amps, what you'll notice is that the source stays in constant voltage mode as I'm increasing current until I reach that 20 amp mark. Now once I reach that 20 amp mark, the source is going to automatically switch over to constant current mode. Now, constant current mode can be useful in applications such as circuit breaker testing, fuse testing, where the reference voltage is not necessarily the most important portion of the power that it's delivering, and that the users are more interested in controlling the actual current levels. So that current, of course, can be adjusted. You can program the current limit if you actually want to go back into constant voltage mode, simply increase the current up, and then you can also take the current back down to force the power supply back into constant current mode. And as you see, the voltage will ramp down as a function of all the way to 0 volts if you program higher currents. The third mode of operation that we're going to show you here is what's called constant power mode. So in constant power mode, once the programmable power supply reaches its programmed constant power limit, the power supply will actually fluctuate the voltage based on the current draw that's programmed to be able to maintain a constant power output. So what you can see here, if we set up 60 volts, just an arbitrary 34 amps of current. So as you can see, as I start to increase the current on the load, you'll notice the current on the power supply starts to increase while the voltage is still maintaining in constant voltage mode. But as I start to reach the power of 1200 watts, once I hit that 1200 watts, you're going to notice that the power supply is going to go into constant power mode and continue to deliver exactly 1200 watts across the current range. So we've now entered into constant power mode. You'll notice the voltage has dropped down because it's maintaining a constant 20.8 amps, which is what I programmed my load to. But then as I increase current, you'll notice that the voltage slowly starts to ramp down so that the power supply maintains, again, that constant 1200 watts of power. And it will continue through the entire range, all the way up through, maximum current that I've programmed currently of up to 34 amps.